All right, what's up, everyone? Doing a little mail day week-ish video. Been a couple weeks since I did this. I usually just accumulate stuff in the pile over there. Watching some Mountain Family cards. Check them out if you haven't had a chance to. I've talked about them before. They've got a lot more subs than me. It's a father. He's got his little dude on there with him. This particular video I was watching here, they're opening up a kids crate. It had some Chronicles baseball, basketball, Rookies and Stars cereal box, and there was one other box. Looks like the father's having a lot more fun than the kid right now opening up stuff. Hey, you're a little too enthusiastic, man. Come on now. Pass it off to the kid. Let the kid open all four. Yeah, but it's cool that they get to do that together, and they're doing a little box battle. So I'm about 2 boxes in. I'll finish up that video when I'm done here. 2 big stacks here. I'll do 2 separate videos. I've been talking about organization and stuff I'm working on. It's a damn chore. It's my fault for letting things go so far and get so out of hand. So let me show you what I'm doing real quick with the organization. Yeah, the lighting looks like shit over here, but who cares? So this is what I'm doing. These are just organized this way for now. They're going to go into a box down there, down where? So I just have them sorted by player here. Look at me, I'm still in the shot. Now I'm not. And then went ahead and set these up for all the players that I had lots of that I was looking to sell. Got all this Prizm here. That's going to be an upcoming video. I've been slacking on shooting new videos. I've just been trying to focus on organizing things. Like I said, it got way out of hand. Eventually everything's going to be in here, organized by player. And then these ones are ones that I organized as well, but I had to stop because I'm moving on to a different organization product, something else I've got to finish up. We got a little bit more stuff on this side. We got the stuff here. I think you've probably seen that before. Oh, it's everywhere. These ones need to be photographed. So they've been organized, but they need to be photographed and then put up for sale. So that's going to be a task. Now on to the mail day. Nothing huge here, actually. Let me take this in half here. A lot of these cards here. We paid about $2 for those gold cards. You can pick those up. There's a lot here that I picked up for $16. It had a couple Mojos. One of them I think was kind of meh. The Chrome cards that came out of here, 4, 5, 6, 7, actually looked really good. And this Mojo was really solid as well. All of that for $16. So 3 Mojos and 7 really solid looking Chrome cards for $16. There were a few Mojos and a few Chrome cards in there. He had 3 other Chrome cards. So with that lighting and a couple other Mojos that didn't look as good. So like I said, there was a ton of stuff in there, $16. Super good value, I felt like, on those. A little bit more here. De La Cruz. Is that just a plain old Chrome? These cards all looked pretty solid. I was paying about $15 for those De La Cruz cards. So here, all of these cards look pretty solid. These all came in a lot here. I can't remember what I paid for those. I mean, come on, who wants to know that kind of information, right? Kind of important. Picked up an Ortega lot. It had a bunch of Chromes. Turned out the Chromes ended up looking like poop, but there were a lot of first Bowman, and the first edition ones looked pretty solid. So overall, I think for that lot, I want to say I also paid about $16 to $20, somewhere in that range, and there were 10 total Chromes, but most of them looked like poop. I felt like with the firsts and the first editions that it turned out okay, right? Maybe you're a little bit disappointed that the Chrome surfaces had been scratched. It seemed like the seller didn't have a clue on how to handle Chrome cards. When 1 out of 10 isn't scratched, then you know something's up with the seller. Bernabel or Bernabel, Curtis Mead. Now, as I said, this is from several weeks ago. This De La Cruz I paid $15 for. It had a print line on it. Probably hit a 9. That's how it goes sometimes. I think when I'm looking at buying stuff or I should say when I do buy stuff and I get it in the mail, even if it's not the quality you expect, I don't do returns unless it's pretty obvious to me that the seller is picking up some Ortegas here, about $4 or $5. Same thing for the Sosa, about $5 or $6. Valera, picking him up for about 8 to 10, and then another De La Cruz. But I stopped buying Mojos for the most part. There were a couple players that I circled back to try to pick up. Denzer Guzman was one. I was looking at Luca Tresh a little bit, and Peyton Wilson, and Edgar Quiero as well. These were guys that at the time weren't really on my radar, but they've performed really well. May or may not do anything eventually, but these are guys that have performed well of late. So I wanted to grab at least a couple of their cards so I had something of them. Getting back to what I was saying was, you can tell kind of an amateur when you have Chrome come out and centering's decent enough, but 9 out of 10 have surface scratches. So that's the reason why I would say, kind of like when I got back into collecting in 2020, 2021, I really shied away from Chrome, because you'd have a situation where I'd buy these lots and most of the cards would be scratched. So after that happened several times, it really turned me off of buying Chrome. Now, I will say this though, one little kind of thing, a little tip you can file away. A lot of you probably already know this, but the problem I'm having is trying to go back and acquire Chrome cards from not so much 2021, but 2020 and prior to 2021. Those cards have their own issues in terms of print lining and everything like that. But when you start to go back a couple years, you find that a lot of times sellers that have the cards, they didn't know how to take care of it. Whenever the cards come, they're scratched. So that's all I got for this particular mail day. Try to keep it short. Had to show a little something with the organization. Part 2 of this, I'm going to shoot this right now. It's July 28th right now. This one, second part will come out obviously after. We'll skip the whole organization thing for the most part. Actually, maybe not. Let's get into that. Thanks for watching, everybody. Take care. I'm off to shoot part 2.